Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 of the Under the Ocean tutorial series. Part 2, as I told you last time, focuses on house building and advanced crafting. So, I've acquired a few basic supplies for your house. So let's just get started. We're going to start by moving some of these logs out of the way. Okay, so whenever we're ready to start building, just kind of come over here, jump up a little bit, and hit space. Because you're going to want to get them over here without having to mess with physics. Make sure none of them are green like that, or else they'll stick together, and then you can't get them apart. So always a bad thing. Okay, so now that we have them there, we're just clearing off a spot for our build. There we go. So, hit space one last time, and pull this over here. Move the grass. Because we want to make sure the wood is sticking to the ground, like that. Now, try to get your plank as flat as possible, and then just stick it to the ground. So we're going to have a pretty small kind of shack thing to start out with, but it'll give you the basic idea of building houses. So once again, we're going to get this as flat as we possibly can. Whoops. Steam. There we go. And now we take these, and then we get them above where we want them, and then we hit the scroll wheel one time forward. Like, you know how your scroll wheel clicks? You just want it to click once until you see these bits right here being transparent. Right here and over here. Until those are transparent. So then we're going to drag it here until it's green and we have the wall height that we want, and then we're going to get it vertically as straight as we want it. I get a little OCD with my walls. There we go. And then there's our first wall. So we're going to grab this other one. We're going to hit space. We're going to turn it. Bring it above where we want it. Hit the scroll wheel once. And pop it down right there. There we go. Now we have two walls, a floor, and now all we need is a roof. Now for your roof, you're going to want this. This stuff is called thatching. Thatching is made by putting a tree in a crafting bench and well, clicking the thatching button. So we're gonna move a bunch of this over to where we are now. Oh, sticks. Ah, that's a known bug. It'll get fixed here pretty soon. But sticks are known to fly over, hit your creations, and mess them up. There we go, and so you're gonna want this on the plane that you are on, and you're just gonna want to stick it right about there. And then you want to stick the second one at a little bit of an angle to that one, and a little bit above. And that I've I've looked at before. I've done this technique many times, and it looks the best. So, yep. We're just gonna drag some more of these over here. There we go. Hop over. You don't actually have to hop over because you can walk straight through them. I just forget that you can. So we're going to want to do the same thing to the other side. Just place it right about there. And then place this one at a little bit of an angle and a little bit above. I'm going to actually angle this one a bit more. Right about there. You're going to want to do this with just about every piece until you get to the peak of your roof. And if you run out of thatching, no big deal. It's one of the easiest things in the game to make. So, and it looks like I am actually going to run out of thatching. Oops, forgot to hit space. And in about the middle, I like to really level off and try to okay, so luckily I have my crafting table right here, and then I brought some trees in my little leather pouch. So I'm gonna make, and there we go, there's the thatching. Now I'm just gonna set this over here because we are going to use it later for the back wall, but for right now we're just finishing up the roof. Now it may look like rain is still falling through, but that is background rain. It will not affect you. Okay, there we go. Now we have the thatching touching. Okay, there we go. And now our roof is done. So, to finish it up, we're just going to go back to the workbench. And I like to make my back walls out of planks. Other people like to make their back walls out of wooden blocks. It just depends on your preference. So, all you want to do is get your back walls how you want them. If you want them flat like this, or if you want them vertical like the walls. Until you start putting in windows, I recommend doing them vertically because it saves wood. I'm just gonna get the wall, part of the wall done here, and then I'll give you a quick cut and come back to you whenever it's finished. I'm gonna show you what designates everything as what, I guess. Each of these is a layer. Now, if you've ever used Photoshop, this is a no-brainer. But a lot of you haven't used Photoshop, and this interface looks a little bit confusing. Each of these represents a layer of the foreground or the background. Now, as you notice, the further I get back, the more things become transparent. And the more I come forward, the more everything merges together. Your camera is on this furthest level, so you tend to not want to put anything there. This is the foreground. This, if you want to make a front wall, that's what you make it out of. That's the layer you make it on. This layer that I'm on right now is the layer that you stand on and the layer that you can bump into. So if you want to make a floor or a ceiling, that's the layer you make it on. This layer is the background. It's good for making walls. It's also good for placing furniture. Now, you have to remember, you can't place furniture in the walls, so if you're going to place furniture, make sure you set your walls one step backwards. Since this is just a basic house, I'm not going to be placing any furniture, minus the crafting bench, which actually needs to be on the same layer as you for it to work, otherwise it's just a decoration piece. So that's the layers interface. Okay, I found a bug. Every other tree you can make planks out of, except this one. This one's, I think, the ironwood tree? Let me see. Yellow pine tree. So, yeah, I'm just gonna chop it up and turn it into firewood, but that's for if any of the developers watch. Hey there, developers, another bug. I have a flamethrower stick, apparently. Yeah, I think it's because it was on a tree and now it's not, and it thinks the entire tree is burning. I can't really tell. Anyways, that's it. See you later.